Welcome back to Chasing Marks Outdoors. This is Tim Fitz. I'm going to do another walk around on my kayak. I have quite a few different things now. Alright, I'm going to start with my console. I have it set up very similar to what I did when I had the Garmin. Just a little bigger screen and significantly better side imaging and a crazy amazing user interface. This thing is just fabulous. To go to my side imaging, literally click on my side imaging. If I want it to be full screen, hit the X, takes it out to full screen. Go back up here and I can pin any different, say my charts or my down imaging, any different combination of each. So I have two different pages that I can pin everything. Also it's cross touch, so I can use the touch screen or I can use this. So I can use all the joysticks that you'd be used to on a Humminbird. Everything like that. Again, cross touch, so I can zoom in this way. I can zoom out with the dial. There's just a lot of different options with it. And then just back home to do anything you want with your settings, anything like that at all. Time is on there, it connects to your phone. Also, if you go into Bluetooth, if you do have iPilot, say you have an iPilot, you can go into remote options and sync your remote and everything into the iPilot here, which is pretty phenomenal. You can control all of it on the screen. I don't have iPilot. I actually prefer the ProNav GPS. It just has a lot more options than iPilot does with mapping and stuff. I mean, now that I have the Bird, I guess it would make more sense to have iPilot, but iPilot on the power drives isn't very good at all. The only thing iPilot's really good on is the Alteras and Ultrexes. Moving down to my ProNav, with this, literally I hit the connect button and Bluetooth connect, select my ProNav device, and then I'm connected to my ProNav. I have it up right now, so it's not going to do anything, but you can hear the motions happening every time I hit something. And with that, your anchor button is your spot lock, is what it would be on a normal iPilot. Vector, wherever I point the head in whatever line I want, at whatever speed I want, it goes. It's great. Also, in routes, when you load the routes, it brings up a map, and you literally go to create routes, go into routes, create on map, hold your finger, say I want to fish the shoreline, then I would hit go and it will follow the shoreline. If I get there, realize it was a good area that I was fishing and I want to fish it again, turn it around, hit go again, it'll take me right back down the same shoreline. You can do all this before you get on the water, so you can have everything planned out. Hit go and your trolling motor will literally drive you all day long. You don't have to worry about touching anything, except when you get on the fish and you hit that anchor button right there and it'll hold you in place. And you can set it by thrust, or you can set it by speed, the miles per hour. So that's really handy as well. Because it can depend, if it's windy, you're going to want to set it by speed instead of thrust, so it holds you at that speed no matter what, even in the wind, and it's just great. Now for just kind of a full overview of the kayak from rear to front. What I have here now, instead of having the black box, it actually broke during transit with my big battery in it. I can't blame Yak Attack for that. I have a Group 31 Optima, so I have a pretty large battery in here. Plus I can store 6, 7 different full-size 3700 tackle boxes in there with it. It all fits in nice, and there's my blue top. This all zips closed, and I have a strap for when I'm on the water. I just strap this over top of it, connect it over here. Very simple. This tackle bag I've had for so many years. It's gigantic, and I used to use it in my bass boat when I would transfer from my boat to, say, another fishing tournament boat. So I had to have a huge one because I had all my bass gear in here. And it's got so many extra side pockets and stuff like that for whatever you want to use them for. And I got all my soft plastics with carabiners to the back of the seat. My backpack is primarily for my camera gear. And my rear camera set up like this. On my seat I have my pliers, hemostats, an extra knife, a couple extra knives actually, just for cutting whatever random, you never know in a kayak. A multi-tool on that side. And in my junk drawers, just whatever I'm using that day is going to be in my junk drawer. Right now it's just kind of a mess. My catch board pulls out super easy, goes back in super easy. When I'm on the water, I don't even usually leave that strapped, I just leave it hanging out. So it's super simple to get out. Pull it out. I lay it right here so it's at an angle. So the fish's nose comes in like this, which is really handy. I have had them flop off it still, so don't think that this is the cure-all. They can still flop off. I do have a hatch, a 4-inch hatch I put in underneath the seat. It makes the wiring super, super easy. It does need to be a 4-inch hatch because, as you can see, they measure the actual hatch itself, not the outer ring of it. So the outer ring puts it right on the edges, so it's a perfect fit in there. And I added this, just kind of a catch-all area, I guess. I put whatever my scents, baits that I'm letting dry or something before I put them away. So that's actually been really handy. It's actually underneath a car stereo. They have the extra box underneath them, and I just trimmed it in here to fit, drilled holes in the bottom so that it would drain. My wiring, I just have it drilled out to come through here. It's watertight. I've never had any water in there whatsoever. And then just goes back to my power. Everything's powered by the Optima in the rear. My hatch, it's a little harder to get open when I have my trolling motor down, but just my pro nav stuff. I usually keep my rain gear, extra rods, that kind of stuff in there. And my other camera mount normally will go right here when the trolling motor's deployed. It'll go right here. That's actually the best camera angle I have. And here's the ProNav Angler GPS and Minn Kota Power Drive 45. It was a 45-inch shaft. I cut it down. It's about 29 or 30 inches from here to this nut down here on the bottom, this little ring. It deploys really easy. Push it down, pull it out, it's deployed. It's kind of hard to deploy on my trailer because everything fits so perfectly on here. The trolling motor rests perfectly when I strap it down, so there's no movement or anything like that. But before I added the toolbox, it was still absolutely fine. I trailer it with it on. I have 4 bolts inside holding it on with washers on them, and there's nothing special about how it's on, and it has not moved. And I've used and abused it like crazy. We do have to have them registered, obviously. It's motorized. Then there's my toolbox. I keep a little bit of everything in here, just for whenever. Right now I just have my rain gear thrown in here, sunglasses, my net, and that kind of stuff. But on fishing day I'll have, whenever I'm trailering it, all my stuff ends up going in there. I do have it locked on as well, just because you don't want it stolen. This is where my power source goes in, so all the wiring's through hull, and it's all quick release. All I gotta do is pull this screw out, and it slides off. Done deal. I mean, I can take it off in a matter of 10 seconds. So that's super easy. Then we get over here, and this is an absolutely phenomenal company. I'm gonna be repping for them soon. So if anybody's looking to get, I can get a small discount for you from Team Gatling. If you'd like to get a discount, just get a hold of me before you buy one. It is absolutely phenomenal. I won't rep for just anybody. I love this product. It's so perfect for my needs. Currently I have it set up here because I stand and fish most of the time, so I just reach down, grab a rod, and I'm ready to fish with whatever I have rigged next. Normally you would mount it, say, back here, right back there, and then what you can do is slide it forward or bring it forward. You can have it in any position you really want to have it in, so if you're in brush or whatever, you can move your rods around. And I mean, you can even leave it like this if you don't want it in your way when you're fishing. The reason I have that is so I can cast 360 degrees around me. I stand and fish, so when I'm standing up in my kayak, I can fish everything, anywhere. That's the bomb right there, the work car. Gotta love the Subaru. Honestly, I use my fish grips for one thing and one thing only. When I pull up to a boat dock, or when I'm docking my boat or launching my boat, I clip it on because it's quicker than tying it off, and it holds the dock perfectly, so that's great. Stop aquatic hitchhikers. These are given away at our boat landings on all of our good lakes anyways here in Wisconsin, so I always have a towel on me. Dry hands are nice. Anchor Wizard I will use during tournaments and stuff when I'm not allowed to have a trolling motor, which I tend to not fish many of those anymore. With the setup I have, it's just hard to do with paddling. I can set it up to make it work just fine. I mean, nothing is in my way whatsoever. I'd have to move my rod holder, but that'd be about the extent of it. Other than that, that should pretty much sum up the new setup I have and everything that has to go along with it. Like I said, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to message me. Go ahead and like Chasing Marks Outdoors. We have a Facebook page. We also have a YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the YouTube channel. We put out new videos constantly, as much as we can, and it's all informative and helpful. We're not out there to try to show off our fish or anything like that. We're trying to help people catch more fish. Damien and I have been working really hard on putting this all together. He fishes out of a 16-foot walleye boat, and I fish out of the kayak, and we literally focus all the time on just helping other people get on fish and stay on fish. It's what we like to do. We enjoy it a lot. So if you'd go ahead and sub to our YouTube channel, we'd really appreciate that. Anyway, I think that should pretty much cover the entire boat. When I do trailer it, I take off the bags, just the two outer worm bags, and then I put the seat down, and I run a strap that I clip onto here. It runs over top of all this. Put this down, obviously. I run it through these so that there's something hard to grab onto, and the strap, my bird doesn't ever stay in here when I'm trailering it. That's just going to be a no-no forever. There's no way around that. And the strap will hold everything down. It also holds my hatch down, and then I just run it through my padlock with my rope from my Anchor Wizard and tighten it down with my Anchor Wizard. And I also use my Anchor Wizard to raise and lower my trolling motor. I rarely ever need to use that anymore because I use boat landings and launches all the time basically now. And like I said, if you have any questions at all, feel free. These are super simple to use. Open them up, grab your rod out. Totally secure. They'll lock into place underneath these nuts. They're super durable. I've been abusing these things just to test them because I wasn't a believer at first. I'm a skeptic all the time. And this company, the owner, everywhere, all the way through the entire company, is absolutely phenomenal. They're just great people. That should be about it. That should cover it. Like I said, any questions, feel free to message me, or however you want to get a hold of me. Works for me. Alrighty? Everybody have a great day, and tight lines, and keep fishing.